Hi guys, today's reading vlog is really exciting because I'm reading two of my most anticipated releases for this year. The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren and This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. Both very summery romances, as you can tell. I think I'm gonna start with The Paradise Problem because I'm just a little bit more excited for this one. I'm excited for both, but I'm a little more... Was I holding this upside down in the beginning clip? I'm excited for both, but I'm a little more nervous for this one because I really liked her first book, Every Summer After, and then I really didn't like her second book, Meet Me at the Lake. So this one is kind of gonna be hit or miss, I think. I hope I like it, but I'm just not sure. And Christina Lauren, I like a lot of their books. I don't think there's ever really been one that I disliked, and I've read pretty much all of them, I think. This one follows Anna and Liam, and they had a marriage of convenience in college so that they could get family student housing. And then after they graduate, they go their separate ways, and Anna thinks that they got divorced, but it turns out they had to stay married for 5 years so that Liam could get his inheritance. His family is really wealthy. They own a chain of grocery stores, I think, and so his inheritance is on the line, so they end up having to come back together and fake date. I'm a little nervous though because it's called The Paradise Problem and the cover is so gorgeous, but it doesn't actually mention a trip or anything, I don't think, in here. I just reread it. $100 million inheritance, can you imagine? So yeah, it doesn't say like where they're going or anything, so hopefully they do actually go on a trip, because if not, I will be very disappointed. Okay, ignore the weird backgrounds. I'm sorry, I'm dog sitting this week, so I'm not home. I don't have my normal filming setup, but I'm about 100 pages in now, and I'm liking it so far. It's fun. Turns out that even though they had a marriage of convenience, they're basically strangers because they met the day they got married at the courthouse, and then were essentially just roommates, like separate bedrooms, everything. And he was getting his PhD, so he was basically never home. So even though they've been married, they pretty much know literally nothing about each other, which I think is a really interesting concept. I like that they took the marriage of convenience trope and showed a new side to it. It reminds me of what Emily Henry does, like in Book Lovers and Funny Story, how she kind of shows the opposite of a trope, like the person that gets dumped when they find out they're in love with their childhood best friend, or the city girl that gets dumped when the guy falls in love with the small town girl. Kind of giving that, like, marriage of convenience if they didn't actually fall in love at the end. I mean, they are going to, but you know what I mean. So that's been really fun, and I like both characters. The main girl, Anna, is very like chill, funny, vaguely quirky. I don't want to say quirky because I feel like that has a negative connotation, but she veers quirky, and he's like more serious, buttoned up vibe. And they also are going on a trip, so I was scared for nothing. The trip is Liam's sister is getting married at a private island in Singapore or the Philippines, I actually forget, but it's a big deal because he's estranged from his father, so he hasn't seen most of his family in like 5 years, and because of that, no one has met Anna before. Like, that's how they get away with he's been married for 5 years but nobody knows her, is because he's estranged from them. And they're very intense. It's kind of giving like Succession vibe, which I'm gonna be honest, I've only seen the first like 2 episodes of, but sort of that dynamic, like rich, very tense family drama, business drama, sibling rivalries, etc. But it has been really entertaining. I will say that the romance has definitely been on the back burner. There really hasn't been much of it at all. It's really just been set up and setting up the family conflict and them like getting ready and going on this trip, which I get, they have to like build everything up, but they do have like a slight flirty banter going on right now that I am enjoying, so hopefully that just gets more intense as the book goes on. And also, this is like very irrelevant, but this is like very similar to a fan fiction I used to be obsessed with, so it gets bonus points for that because it just reminds me of that fic, and I have read that fic like 10 times, so it's kind of making me nostalgic and making me want to reread that fan fiction. But I am really liking it so far, and it's exactly what I wanted, like a fun summer read, tropical vibes. I'm liking it so far. Okay, it's the next day. I'm pretty far in. I'm on page 215, so I think I have a little over 100 pages left to go, and I'm kind of conflicted because I'm enjoying it. Like, I definitely am enjoying it. I like both the characters. I think they're cute, and I like the premise. I think the whole family dynamic and all that is really interesting, but I do just feel like the romance is not the main focus of the book at all, which is fine, you know, but also when you're reading a romance, you want the romance to be strong. And like, I do think they're cute and they like have potential. I'm just not getting that soulmate feeling, you know? Like, I feel like they still haven't really like gotten there and like dug deep. Like, their connections still kind of feel surface level, even though like what I do see I like. I just wish there was more of it. And I'm sort of like, okay, we have 100 pages left. Like, I'm assuming there's also gonna have to be some sort of third act conflict, and it just doesn't seem like there's gonna be enough time in the book to build the relationship to what I was hoping it would be. So I don't know, I'm a little conflicted, but like it is cute. I do like it. I just feel like it's missing a little something, but we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong. I feel like I filmed every clip in this video from this exact spot, but it's just the best filming spot I found so far. I finished the book and I think my consensus is it was just okay. I liked it. There were parts of it I liked, but there were just other parts that I felt like they focused on too much, and it just kind of, I don't know, I kind of just got bored of it. And the romance definitely wasn't as strong as I hoped it would be. Like, they were cute. I did like the family dynamics. I liked that they talk a lot about money and how money affects relationships and families. I thought that was really interesting, and she has no money. Girl, me too. So her point of view versus their point of view was interesting. The setting was cool, perfect for like summer or if you're about to go on a trip, which is not an all-time favorite of mine. I think, unfortunately, I'm probably gonna give it like 3.5 stars, and I would definitely recommend checking it out. Like, I feel like I was kind of negative in this video, but I did like it. Like, it was still a fun time. It was enjoyable. Just like I said, not an all-time new favorite of mine. It's totally fine. Now I can start the next book for this video, which is This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. This is the one I'm nervous about because I can either love it like every summer after, or I can really not like it, like Meet Me at the Lake. So I'm a little scared, but this one is about Lucy, whose best friend Bridget is from Prince Edward Island, and she goes there and ends up hooking up with her best friend's brother, and they say it's only going to be a one-time thing, but then I think it ends up happening every summer. And now I think like 5 years since they initially met, and they're there because Bridget's supposed to be getting married, but something happened, so she like flees to the island, and now they're all there. And now it's, you know, same thing. Like, they keep saying they're not gonna get together, but obviously I'm assuming they're going to. Gorgeous cover as always. She has the nicest covers. Definitely looks like it has summer vibe, and I'm excited. Scared, but excited. Okay, I'm about 120 pages into this now, and I'm a little bored. The plot so far has basically been what I said. The first time that Lucy goes to the island, Bridget misses her flight, so she ends up on the island alone, and she meets Felix and they hook up, but she doesn't know it's him. They don't know each other, they never met. So then it's this whole big thing. They keep it a secret. They don't want Bridget to find out because Bridget specifically is like, do not fall in love with my brother. Classic. So they keep it a secret, and it's been flashing back and forth between the previous summers and this summer, and I'm just kind of bored. I feel like, one, he doesn't really have a personality yet. Like, he seems like a nice guy, and he like buys her favorite wine that he knows she likes and stuff, but I just feel like he just doesn't really have a personality yet. And they do have like a bit of a flirty banter tension going on, but I just don't really buy their connection yet. It feels very physical because all we've really seen so far is them hooking up. Like, even the flashbacks, she'll be like, I can't, like I shouldn't, like it's Bridget's brother, and then she's like, but he's so hot, and she just does anyway. You know, there hasn't really been many scenes where it's just them and they get to interact. It's just been them like sneaking around and like hooking up. I feel like they don't really have like a true connection yet. It's just very physical, and just like in general I feel like not much has happened. Like, they really don't do anything. They're just like hanging out at the house, and you know, they've talked about like her backstory a little bit and stuff, and like the brother's backstory, but I don't know, they haven't actually like really done anything. Like, it's kind of boring plot wise. But the best friend did just mention wanting to do a bunch of stuff during this week that they're there, and they don't even know why they're there. Like, Bridget freaks out. It's the week before her wedding, and it's like, I just need you guys to come here and like be there for me, but she hasn't said what's going on, so they really have no idea. So kind of just a weird dynamic all around, and like I said, nothing has really happened yet, but she said she wants to like act like a tourist for the week, the friend, so I'm hoping they're gonna start doing stuff soon. One thing I appreciate about this book is there's an actual reason why the best friend doesn't want Lucy to date her brother. I feel like a lot of times it's just like, oh, we can't because like it's my sibling or whatever, or their sibling, but they have like a situation that happened in the past which causes the best friend to not want Lucy to be with her brother, which I appreciate, because I feel like then it's not just like thrown in there and it's like a made up conflict. It's like, no, there's an actual reason why this can't happen. So I do appreciate that. Also, okay, this is just me being a hater, but Felix is a professional oyster shucker. Yeah, you heard that right. Which, listen, you know, men can have hobbies, who am I to judge? But it's written like it's supposed to be this really hot thing, and Lucy's like, oh, I can't stop watching his hands. Like, she finds it so attractive, and I'm just like, am I supposed to think that's hot? Like, I just cannot get get behind it. I do not think oyster shucking is sexy. I'm sorry. It's kind of throwing me a little bit. So I am a little nervous. I can't say I'm like dying to pick this back up, you know what I mean? But hopefully their relationship does build and like more stuff starts happening, because I just feel like it's kind of been the same thing for the whole book and it's kind of just been like set up, and I'm ready for something new to happen. Okay, full disclosure, it's like a week later now. I just did not feel like picking this book up and I didn't want to force myself, so I took a break and then I came back and I read I think about 100 more pages. I'm on page 220 now and I'm liking it a lot more than the first third of the book. I feel like what I said in the last update of things I wanted to happen are happening, which I'm really happy about. There's a lot more scenes of just them, like the couple, actually like interacting and having a relationship and not just like hooking up. And I also said I think that he has no personality, which feels mean now, like looking back. I don't know, maybe I was just in a bad mood or something that day, but his personality is definitely just, he's more quiet and like steady, if that makes sense. Like he doesn't have like this big personality, which is fine, but I feel like we've seen him become like sweeter and sweeter and we kind of have gotten more of his like backstory and lore, and I do really like him. Like I said, he is so sweet and he's more of like an actions over words type of guy. I feel like she goes to the island because she is like going through a personal tragedy and like the best friend's not there, it's just him. He's like taking care of her and buying her favorite things, and like there's this thing where they send each other things back and forth when she's in the city and he's in Prince Edward Island, and it's just really sweet and I do like him a lot. I feel like I would be attracted to him in real life, which weirdly enough I feel like isn't always something I think about in romance books. Like I can be obsessed with a male main character or a female main character, but know that in real life I probably wouldn't like them, where he I feel like is my type in real life and I would like him. Like I have a crush on him. The oyster shucking thing, I'm sticking to it. It doesn't really do it for me, but you know, it's okay. There was like a cute scene where he's in a competition and it was fine. It's just not like my favorite thing in the world. I still don't know what's going on with the best friend slash sister, so that's kind of annoying because I just feel like it's getting dragged out so long, which makes sense. Like I knew we were gonna have to wait, but I'm like, okay, come on, can you just like spill your guts already, please? But like I said, I am liking it a lot more than I originally was. Like originally I was giving 2 stars, like I was gonna even DNF it maybe, but now it's giving like 3 star. Like it's getting there. I'm liking it more and more. Were you even reading if you didn't have an ambiance video going in the background? No. Also, my room is a mess. Like, hopefully you can't see it, but I finished the book and I actually really liked it. I think I was saying before that it's a very like intimate romance, I want to say. Like, it feels like very realistic. Like, nothing too like crazy happens or like, you know, they were just like normal, which I think in the beginning is maybe what made me think it was boring. I actually ended up really rooting for them, and she goes on like a self-discovery character development storyline that I really enjoyed, and I feel like it really fleshed out her character. The sister twist wasn't anything crazy either, but you do eventually find out what it is and why she was acting so weird the whole time. And I just thought this was a really sweet romance, and there were also like lots of quotes I liked. I didn't annotate it, but I kept like taking pictures of like the pages that had nice quotes, and it's just very sweet. Like, I don't know, they're very cute. I like them a lot. Like, he is just the sweetest. He's like quoting her favorite book to her. Like, I can't get enough. Okay, this is like a vague spoiler. Like, if you don't want to know like any specific scenes from the book, you can skip forward like 45 seconds. But there's a scene where they're at the Anne of Green Gables house and that's her favorite book, and they're like quoting the book back and forth to each other, and then there's like this little stand on the way out with cards that people have written on, and it says, "I pause when I come to the one that reads, 'I am here now and everything is okay.' It feels like it's written just for me. From the corner of my eye, I see Felix pick up a pen and write something on a blank card. He sets it in an empty holder. This is Lucy's happy ending." Like, he's nice. Like, he's so cute. I will say I'm not like obsessed. I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Probably could have been 3.5, 4, but the first third like really just didn't do it for me, and I wasn't a huge fan. So I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars, but like happy 3 stars. And I am glad I finished it because, like I said, I like the second half way more than the first half. I'm glad I didn't DNF. And in general, for both books, I did like both of them a lot. I kind of was hoping that one of these would be like a 5-star new favorite, but I did really enjoy both, so I'm very happy with the reading I did for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed too. If you want to find me anywhere else, I'll have all my other social media linked down below, and thank you so much for watching.